Before we get into the video, I forgot to mention this as one of the things that I wanted to talk about. The UI improvements are incredible. The quality of life when it comes to, vendors and how cool their inventory looks now and how easy it is to navigate and what it looks like. And obviously the removal of the token system, all incredible and brilliant and a massive, massive improvement to the quality of life and everyday gaming. But the one thing I want to say, and it is literally the best thing they have added to this game in this update, is when you rank up Gambit and Vanguard and Crucible, you don't get that splash screen in front of you where you're trying to look at your armors and the splash screen pops up and it's like, fuck you, look at me, you ranked up. That was abysmal. Now you just get a nice little pop-up at the bottom and it's so fucking good, it almost turns me on. Into the video. Welcome back to the channel, and today I wanted to give my kind of first impressions of the Season of the Chosen Season 13 from a casual perspective and what I want and expect from Destiny and what has been delivered in my opinion. Now, I am going under the guise that a few of the mentions of this game by game developers are that this is the year that Destiny turns it around. I've seen a few tweets here and there from developers talking about how good the game is going to be this year and that it's going to be mind-blowing, and that's kind of like the idea that I have going into this video, specifically because this is the first kind of major update this year, and if this is start as it means to go on, I'm a little bit worried. A little tiny bit worried. But anyway, let's talk about specifically the new exotics first. Now, I haven't got them all yet, but they look decent. They're good designed. They look like they're going to add a unique kind of take on specific abilities that they have and that they support. I'm not too disappointed by that. And getting them from the Lost Sector and actually having a challenge to get them, I'm happy about that. I can't complain too much. The exotics, good design, good additions, happy about that. They did good with the exotics. Could do with slightly couple more exotics, but regardless, what they've introduced so far in terms of armor, pretty cool. Looking forward to getting them. Then we have the new bow. Spoke about this in a video, the Tiku's Divination. The bow is incredible. Like, it's so much fun. It's unique. It's different. Not majorly unique and not majorly different, but it is something they've added which, makes the game feel new, makes the game feel different, makes the exotic feel exotic and worth having. You can get it on the season pass. Would I have liked for it to be a little bit more challenging challenging to unlock? Potentially, but I'm happy to have it. It's something that can just make me relax and enjoy this game as I'm running around doing grindy stuff. Now let's talk about PvE. So the story of this season is you got to make friends with the Cabal. You decide not to. So the fat little chubby little Cabal tells you, I'm going to meet you on the battlefield and I'm going to kill you. And then you do two battlefields or battlegrounds, whatever the hell they're called, battlegrounds, and you don't ever see that character again, at least so far anyway. Maybe further into the season they'll introduce more stuff, but I want to fight that Cabal lady. She's been introduced, she's been shown to be aggressive, but that's it. That's all it's been so far. It's just two battlegrounds and that's the end of it. So I'm highly, highly disappointed in that. Did I expect a full, massive, long storyline? Of course not. It's like a mini season update. But I definitely would have liked to see some sort of conclusion to the story that was introduced to us, or at least, a to be continued type thing. But realistically, it was just, I'm going to kill you, meet you on the battlegrounds, and then you do two battlegrounds and that's it. So I'm a little bit disappointed in that. But I will say, I do absolutely love Battlegrounds. I think they are interesting enough for the length that it takes to complete them, but not long enough where it becomes boring. It is repetitive, just like, most activities in Destiny are, but I just feel like it's a mini little war. Like, it feels fun to play. It's interesting. Like I said, it's just a good addition. Now, I don't know how long that feeling will last for me because, the more repetitive it becomes, the more I'll dislike it. But I do feel like this was a really great addition to the game. They need more of them, I think it's like 2 maps, potentially 3, I don't even know. But, there's not enough there for it to, you know, have some legs and last as long as we want it to last. They need to introduce new maps and things to do within them, like, I don't know, maybe little mini missions outside of bounties, you know, little things that you can collect and pick up and just do in the battlegrounds to make them more interesting and make people want to farm them and grind them. Really happy about battlegrounds. The addition's great, something new, something different. Reminds me a little bit of Prison of Elders type-esque event, and I love Prison of Elders, so I'm happy about them. They just need to do more with it. Right, the Helm, Umbral Engrams, and the Hammer of Proving. I've made a couple of videos about the Hammer of Proving and how I believe that it's just pseudo farming, pseudo grind. They've just put this convoluted system in to make it feel like there's actual content in the game when there isn't. It's just stretching a thin veil of deception over the community to be like, oh, look at all this stuff you have to do for 7 weeks, when realistically it's just to do Umbral Engrams, which is a system we've already had in the game, which people weren't excited about. It wasn't, you know, super popular. It was fine, but now they've taken that system and made it more convoluted, more frustrating, and more just boring. So I'm very, very disappointed in the Hammer of Proving and the system for Umbral Engrams. The helm itself is a really, really cool ass design. I like it. You know, it's a good way to introduce a new social space. Except it's not a social space, it's just for you and your fire team, which, you know, I kind of understand. It's probably a little bit easier to code that into the game than have multiple people joining helms, but it just feels empty. You know, like Crow just sits in the back and he has nothing to do, you know, nothing in his inventory or anything. Maybe potentially they'll do something in the future with him. I hope they do, because the Crow is an awesome character, and probably one of the best things they've added to the game in a very, very long time is the Crow. Having a post box and the vault right next to the Umbral Engram machine, very helpful, very useful. So I overall do like the helm. I just feel like it could have had a bit more social interaction into it, but it is what it is. I'm happy with it. It's cool. Right, it's too early really to talk about the new legendary weapons, because, you know, the Umbral Engram process takes so long that getting a god roll and, you know, playing and enjoying those weapons is going to take a little bit of a while. But I like the weapon designs. I think they're pretty cool. I just hope it's not too difficult to get some god rolls on them, because I really want to test them out in PvP, use them in PvE, and right now I'm just using the same stuff that I've always used, and that's a little bit disappointing, because I really want to thrive on these new weapons. Hopefully over the coming weeks with god rolls and stuff like that, it will become way more apparent how cool these weapons can be. Now, the older weapons that have returned, like the Palindrome and the Shadow Prize, I haven't personally got any of them yet, but I've seen other people using them on streams and stuff, and they look pretty cool. You know, there's a lot of nostalgia there. The guns aren't super overpowered, but they aren't really weak either, so I'm excited to get them too and have some nostalgia burst in my life. I think all in all, the legendary weapons that they have added look good, are good, and, you know, have nostalgia to them as well. I just feel like there should be more legendary weapons available with an update where they promise that this year is going to be Destiny 2's year. They need to do more stuff. Right, Season Pass is pretty good. Not going to complain about it. Obviously, it costs real life money, but, you know, the rewards that you're getting from it and the things, I haven't got through them all yet, but I've looked through them, and it looks like, you know, it's worth the money, in my opinion. You know, if you've got £10 to spare, or $10, whatever it is in America, you know, I feel like it's worth buying. I feel like they've done a really good job with the Season Pass. The problem is, though, is the armor. Very briefly talk about the armor, the ornaments, and how the armor looks. You know, I actually kind of like it. It's so silly, so goofy, but it's unique and different, you know, and that's all I ever want with Destiny, is something new, something different. And they certainly have done that with these armors. So I feel like that part of the Season Pass is just down to personal taste. I like it. I'm going to be rocking the hell out of it. I went into Eververse as well and looked at the new ornaments. I really like them as well. I think they did a really good job designing them. I feel like they put more effort into the Eververse ones because they sell them for money. But yeah, regardless, that's just same old Destiny stuff. The armors, for me, look great. For other people, probably going to hate them. And last but certainly not least, let's talk PvP. It fucking sucks. Thank you for watching. I've been easynow. You guys have been awesome.